Well, welcome back, everyone. We're working on our Windchill calculator app. And so what I want to do is start programming this thing. All right, we want to do something with our inputs. And so a couple of things I want to point out is anything that's programmable, we're going to want to identify because we're going to have to go into our actual code and we need to tap into these UI elements. In particular, anything the user is going to interact with and will be dynamic in some way. So for example, the temperature edit text, the wind speed. User is going to type something in here, so we need to be able to target that with our code. The button, absolutely. We got to program this button to do something. And then finally, the results is going to change based on what the user enters. And so all four of those items we need to put into our programmable code. So what we're going to do is pay attention to our names. For example, edit temp. I'm just going to go ahead and even copy that right here so I don't forget. I want you to go to mainactivity.java. So whoa, hold on a second. There we go. Mainactivity.java. And we're going to do a couple things here. Number one, all this stuff about toolbar, we don't really need. We're going to get rid of that. Shouldn't cause a problem. I hope not. We'll find out, won't we? Number two, most of what we're going to do is we're going to put stuff in here right after this public class main activity. We're going to do a lot of stuff on create, and we're going to get rid of all this action bar stuff. I put my little comment there the last time to just see what happens. I'm going to get rid of all of that. So at this point, this Java file, all you should see is the public class main activity extends app. You get the idea. At override, protect void on create. You do want to keep these first two lines here because this is important for the on create method to work. But we can get rid of some of these extra line returns. Keep the curly brackets there though. All right, so clean it up a little bit like so. I'm going to zoom in on my code here so you can see that a little better.
So we can get rid of everything.
All right, I'm going to clean this up too a little bit. I'm going to close these little notifications here without reading them. Wow. Oh, well. Hopefully that wasn't anything too important. All right, so anyway, we're going to go into the class, and we need to declare some variables. So we're going to declare our UI components. Now, hold on. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to start by declaring the data type. So in the first case, we want to declare edit text. So you start by writing the name of what the object is. It's an edit text, and we've got actually two of them. One is edit temp. That's the one I had copied from earlier. I'm going to put a comma here, and then I'm going to write edit wind. I'm pretty sure that's what I called it. If I am not sure, I can go back to content main and double check. Now, some of you probably are getting a little error message right now, and it doesn't like that you did edit text. If you look at mine, you're going to see that the last three lines here are importing my UI components. Now, I did this earlier, so I forgot I had done it. But if you have not done this yet, you're going to need these import statements in order for you to get rid of that. However, watch how easy this is. Check this out. So let's say you don't, and you click on here, and you go over here. Edit text. Sorry, I'm going to get rid of that import statement. Right here, it says it's red, and it says cannot resolve symbol edit text. Click anywhere around here, and you'll see this Android widget edit text, question mark, Alt-Enter. Hold down Alt, type Enter, and it's going to add the import statement, and now it should like it. So don't freak out when you see it do that. It just means anytime you see anything that says Alt-Enter, just type Alt-Enter when you see it. It will resolve itself. Usually, it's just adding import statements that are needed. Okay? So we're going to declare those two. We're going to declare a couple more. Okay, so the next step, now I've opened up all these import statements. I want you to see you need these import statements here for it to work. We're going to do the same thing for button. And then this one was button, and I believe it's get underscore Windchill. And whatever you call it, it's good to give it the same name you gave it on content main. So I'm just going to go over here and make sure I have it on content main on my button underscore get Windchill. That's it. So there's our button, and we got one more, which is a text view. So remember, I always start with a capital T text view, and then we're going to put text underscore, and this one was results. Now, at this point, you should have all of your variables. These are just variables to represent our different UI elements. The next step is we want to do something with those. And we're going to do it on the creation of our app. So we're going to go into the public or protected void on create method. This gets run when the app is loaded. And so the first thing we're going to do is we need to create what's called, oh, wait, no, I'm not there yet. We're going to have to actually connect these variables to our UI components. The idea here is we're going to connect the UI components to their counterparts in content main, and it follows this pattern. You give it the name. So that would be edit temp, for example. Edit temp equals. And then what we need to do is we need to put parentheses here, and what data type is it? Edit text. Then we're going to do this thing called find view by ID. And this is kind of a weird way of doing it. It's not what I would have probably come up with. But then again, I've never created anything as amazing as Android. So what can I say? Nothing. All right. So it's capital R dot ID dot. As soon as you do that, bam, you've got all of your ID items that are available to you. In this case, it was edit temp. So I'm looking for edit temp. There it is. Double click it. What I just did there is that sort of connected this variable. It put it in touch with the one on my content main over here. See that? And so that was edit temp. We're going to do the same thing for edit wind and all the others combined. So I'm going to proceed to do that now. Edit wind. It's also edit text. Find view by ID, capital R dot ID. Through the use of a couple dots, up and down arrows, you can get all this stuff done pretty quickly. That's edit wind, like so. And we've now begun, this is kind of like putting the plumbing together or wiring our stuff together here. So we're wiring from the code into the actual UI elements on the screen. And so we need to do that for our button as well. And it's going to look the same, except for instead of edit text, we just put button with a capital B, like so. Capital R dot ID dot button get Windchill. And we just proceed to do this for all remaining ones. And the last one is our text results equals text view, find view by ID, capital R dot ID dot text results.
I'm not getting the...
Let me do a little disclaimer. I've had a couple of students have some issues with this. Couple of things I want to point out. When you do the find by ID, if I find the R ID, let's say you're doing this, if nothing pops up, that usually means there's an error in your code somewhere. But if something pops up, then it's got to be one of these. So if, for example, edit text, yours said something, edit temp, yours was spelled different or had something different, use the one that's popping up here, not the one that I'm showing you, because you probably just set that differently in your content main. Same thing goes for Windchill. It could be wind speed or wind underscore chill or whatever. So you want to be careful you're getting what it shows you as popping up. So at this point, all the wiring's in place. What we need to do now is do something with our button. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create what's called a button click handler, or click listener, excuse me. That's the more official Android term. So once we set the wiring, and I'll show you so you can see the public class, I want you to write out the name of the button, and it should show you that, button get Windchill. I want you to put a dot, and now what we're going to do is we're going to try to set an on-click listener. So when you type out the S, you should see SEC, set on-click listener. That's what you want. And inside of here, you're going to write new. You're going to view with a capital V, view dot, on-click listener. It should show you. If it doesn't, just type capital O, N, C, L, I, C, K, L, and you can start seeing at this point there's only 3 options. It's on-click listener. And it still doesn't like it. So this is one of those moments where we need to go look at our little bulb, and it says implement methods. Okay, if you see that, just click it, click OK. So we're going to just add on click like so. It should in just a moment all work.
It's died slightly.
There we go. It's back.
All right.
It's back.
And look, here we go. At this point, it now knows, okay, this is a click listener. So it's going to, of course, listen for a click. So what we're going to do is just, I'm a little bit low on time on this particular video. So I wanted to show you, when we click the button, we're going to just do something kind of fancy. We're just going to do one little thing. Let's just change the results text widget. So go ahead and select text results, put a dot, and look at all the things we can do. We've got a set text, set error, get text. I'm going to do append. Now, append means add to the end. And I'm going to put on here, yo, I just clicked a button. Whew, fancy there, huh? All right, at this point, we're going to go ahead and run it and test this out. Figure that out. I'm going to drag this over a little bit here. Let's go ahead and run it. You want to choose you want to launch an emulator. If there's one already launched, you just let it choose a running device. If you don't have one of these, see my previous video. I talk about how to set these up. Now it's time to finally test it on my new emulator. Yo, I just clicked a button, and if I click it again, because it's append, it takes whatever results is and just adds it to the end. So every time I click the button, I just keep adding the same amount. So at this point now, hopefully you realize how to make something happen. So on this, really I just want to leave you with the main code we did here, declaring our components, connect the wiring so that these variables are connected to the actual content main over here. And then on our button, whoa, what did I just do? Undo. Danger, Will Robinson. Oh, I just need to zoom in. There we go. All right, and if you just set this on click listener, and then at this point, all we did was append some text. So in my next video, I will show you all the options you have available, and we're going to start doing some what's called data or form validation. We'll make sure temperature's in the right format, wind speed's in the right format. We'll make sure that they're not empty. And then we'll have little output on the results to say what's going on with our results if any of the information is incorrect. And there you have it. Happy coding, one and all.